I want to explain a little bit about how we approach trapping in Krav Maga. Trapping is a term that's used in several different martial arts such as Kali, Wing Chun, but it's a series of techniques and concepts that apply. You see it in every martial art. You see it in boxing, judo, sword fighting. The way I describe it is really basically the temporary immobilization of a limb that clears the path for you to strike. Now, in Wing Chun, you would find people here because they're occupying the center line. So their hand gets blocked, they then trap, they come down the center line and they continue attacking. Then you have snapping it down. I go to punch, he blocks, and then I pull into the box out. That's great if you're fighting another Wing Chun fighter. And the reality is, though, the reference point here doesn't exist in real life. Nobody's here. If I'm here, I'm not going to trap the arm to continue punching with this hand. If I'm here, if I go to punch and that's blocked, I'm just hitting with this hand. We don't want to have any wasted movement in Krav Maga. There are Krav Maga instructors that will use the term trapping, and then there are instructors that will do it every single day. They just don't mention the term. Now, trapping is made up of, my terms would be removing an obstacle for a split second, a lapse of a second in time, using forward pressure based on several movements such as pushing, pulling down, or plucking, which is similar to our choke defense. Okay? You see Krav Maga trapping right away, specifically in our right straight punch defense. I'm using the rotational defense to defend the straight punch, but now I'm here. I want to continue attacking to the face, but there's now an obstruction here. So I punch and defend, and then I snap down and push the arm down and continue hitting. That's in Krav Maga one of the first times you see trapping. You also see it in overhead stick defense if you watch our other video, where I'm defending to the outside, and then I do the hip switch, I trap the arm, and I punch. We always like to push the arm in, to collapse the arm with forward pressure, and I prefer to have it cross the body. There's a reason why straitjackets have the arms crossed as opposed to the side. It throws off your balance and your ability to have stability. So when I do this defense, if I just snap it down here, it does not affect his posture at all. But if I defend here and push and cross here, it affects his posture and he's totally thrown off balance. One more time, punches. So our trapping in Krav Maga can be as basic as that. I end up in a weird area. I'm attacking a person here, my opponent's here, I just trap the hand and I punch. I ended up here, we're in a clinch, I trap the arms and I hit. His hand's here, I push and I hit. Something as simple as just collapsing the hands and attacking. One of the things one of our black belts here teaches is that when the hands are here, the first strike is just a palm strike into the hands, which collapse the hands into the face. So I can collapse the hand in, boom, punch to the groin, punch to the body. His hands are here. Instead of trying to trap and pull down, just push the hands into the face, punch to the groin or to the body and hit. It can be here, it doesn't matter. Even if it's coming in, it's disconcerting to have the hands pushed to your face. But some of our preferred traps here are just moments, just quick snapshots in the fight. His hands are up. Two hands like the plucking motion with the choke. I am not pulling the hands away. Just, it's not strength against strength. It's a dynamic pluck. Resist me. Resist me. He's holding all my weight up. Resist me. Resist me. Now the hand's jerking. So it's dynamic. I am not pulling the hands down. I am plucking just like our choke defense and attacking. What also happens if you watch Jeff's head here, his posture, as I snap down, his head comes forward. But we have to be careful not to pull our own arms back. You're keeping your elbows in. You're going slightly above his hand, snapping down and then counterattacking. Be careful not to come into that attack because you take the power off your punch. If you can reach his head, you can reach his hand, you attack. I'm here, we're moving, I stop, continue. You could also go inside and just focus on one hand. Both hands were on the outside, snapping it down, counterattacking. Now I could also just go inwards and snap down and attack there. We could also be close here. I'm snapping down and hitting with the elbow. The hand's coming out, trapping, removing that obstacle for a split second, followed up by the elbow. Or it could be in here, and I snap down and remove that obstacle. These snap downs work well when the person has a tight guard. When you've been hitting them, their hands are already down, now coming in and remove the obstacle. He's blocking, he's covering, now I'm just snapping down and exposing the head. This works great on the ground as well. Ground and pound, the person's on the ground, pull the hand out, snap it down. Especially people who keep high guards, they up, high guards, you've been hitting him, he covers, and exposing the head. One of the other techniques, this is something I learned from Gabi Noah from Israel, high-ranking Krav Maga instructor, is a trap that is a pulling trap, which is similar to something you may see in Wing Chun, where you want to get out of the way. So from here, the technique is this. My thumb is starting up. It is grabbing the wrist. It is ending up downwards. As it grabs his wrist, it pulls it back, goes out, and then the elbow comes back. As the elbow comes back, the other leg goes forward, and you punch to the face, and you continue escaping out the other direction. You want to step to one o'clock. So I'm in here, I trap and I hit and I run. Now you don't. There could have been an escape route there. There may not be an escape route there. If I want to continue attacking, I want to throw him off balance. Continue attacking. If you're doing this right, you will watch Jeff step here. I don't want just this. You want to throw the person off balance. You are aiding in that unbalancing, but it's counterattack, the punch. And that momentum is driven by the step. So we have our double snap down, removing this obstacle. You can't punch through it, so we snap it down and we hit. We're snapping down just one side, one direction, and hitting. Close range cover, same thing. Or just one, you can use two hands. He's covering, and hitting. Or there's all pushing motions, just like you ended up here, you're trapping. Now we have a pulling motion, grabbing the hand quickly, you're moving, grabbing the hand, hitting, counterattacking. This could be done, multiple attackers here, the person's there, you just grab. Or you end up in this position, fighting, coming in, throwing them off. That's just some basic traps we use in Krav Maga. The context of how you end up in those positions is up to you. The fight can be dynamic. I use the example of when you watch a film from beginning to end, you know the context of every scene that's happening. These are just little snapshots. They're still frames from a movie. I don't know how I ended up here, but I am here now. So now I know to grab and pull here. I don't know how I ended up with him covering, but now I know I can remove that. Keep the movements tight. Your elbows are in. Do not snap things and flail your arms. Keep it tight. Make it dynamic. Make them dynamic pulls. Throw the person off balance and occupy those spaces with your own strikes. Strikes just like this. You punch it. I defend, I occupy space, and I attack. All right? Any questions? Thanks.